Okay, so what we're gonna do today, I'm gonna show you a shortcut that you can possibly do with the electron configuration. On the assignments, I did pick out a couple of them that I want you to try. Some people pick up on this shortcut and can do it no problem. Some people, it's your worst nightmare. That's okay. I just, like I said on the assignment, I picked a couple for you to try. Okay, so but before we do that, I want to show you something with elements that are in the same column on the periodic table. So let's kind of pick two elements that are in the same column. Does everybody know what I mean by a column?
Yeah. Column. Okay.
Vertical. Last period, some people were saying this is a column. Okay, Landon.
I can pick a number.
Pick two elements that are in the same column.
Tholium and antimony.
Tholium and what?
Antimony. 51.
Antimony.
That's what I meant.
No. Let's look at arsenic and phosphorus. Okay. Phosphorus. 15 electrons. Now this one, I'm going to do it both ways. I'm going to do it the orbital way and the superscript way. This first one, let's do the superscript. So phosphorus, 15 electrons. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p3. Arsenic, 33 electrons. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10, 4p3. What similarities do you see? Not at the beginning, because everything starts out with 1s, right? Look at the end. What do you notice about the ending for both of these?
Well, they both end with a P and they both have the same exponent on them.
Right. Okay. They both end with a p sublevel, and within that p sublevel we have 3 electrons. Okay? So what we're going to kind of see is elements that are in the same columns, they're going to end the same way. Granted, they're not going to have the same energy level. One's going to be higher or lower than the other one, but they are going to end with the same type of sublevel with the same number of electrons. Okay? Let's kind of look at another example of this real quickly. Let's see. Megan, pick two more elements that are in the same column.
Gallium?
Okay, gallium and
Gallium?
yeah. How about if we do like gallium and aluminum?
Okay.
Okay, just for the sake of time, okay? Okay, aluminum, 13 electrons. And let's do this, the orbital configuration. One S, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p. Then gallium, 31 electrons. 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3, 4p. Alright, so, once again, if we look at the very end of it, they both end with a p sublevel, and how many electrons do we have in that p sublevel? One electron. The reason why I'm showing you this is, on the assignment, I picked a couple elements that are not in the first 36 elements. But if you can see what column they are in, you can kind of guess and understand and try to figure out what they're going to end with, how many electrons are going to be in that last sublevel. Okay? Any questions with this part? All right. So now on to the shortcut. The shortcut is called the double gas shortcut. Why do you think it's called the double gas shortcut? Anybody want to take a wild guess?
Deals with gases.
It deals with the noble gases, okay?
And it's a shortcut.
And it's a shortcut, right. All right, so let's kind of pick an element that we did 2 days ago. Let's look at iron, okay? We know that iron has 26 electrons to it. So what I want you to do is find iron on your periodic table and put your finger on it. So what we have to do first is we have to figure out what noble gas precedes iron on the periodic table. The way that we do that is go up one spot, move up one spot, and all the way to the right. Move up one, all the way to the right. Noble gas that preceded is argon. So we're going to put argon inside brackets, and that's going to kind of tell us, okay, this is the first part of the electron configuration. We still need to finish it up to show the last part of iron's electron configuration. The way that we do that is we're going to start with the row that iron's in. So what row number is iron in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7?
3, 4.
4. Iron's in row number 4. Everybody see that? Okay. So we're going to start way over on the left-hand side. So over on the left-hand side, what sublevel do we have? What sublevel do we have on the left-hand? S. So we're starting the 4th row. So after argon in brackets, we're going to put 4s. How many electrons do we need to put into the 4s to try to get to iron?
2.
2. Okay, so if we put in 2 electrons into 4s, alright, so here's the 4th row, right? Starting with potassium. I put 2 electrons in, that gets me to calcium. You can kind of follow along with your periodic tables. Everybody see that? So we still need to go to our next sublevel to get to iron, right? So after 4s comes what sublevel?
D.
D. What number do we need to put in front of it?
3.
3D, because the D sublevels are one less than the row that they are in. How many orbitals does a D sublevel have?
5.
5. All right, now how many electrons do we need to put into the D sublevel to get to iron?
10.
6.
Say it louder.
6.
6. Why is it 6? Okay, well we said that if we put 2 electrons into the 4s, that would take us to calcium, right? So keep on counting. To get to iron, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So we're going to need to put 6 electrons into the 3D sublevel to get to iron. Any questions with our first example? No questions? Okay, let's do a couple more. All right? What other one do we want to do? Anybody? Anybody's choice. Lizzie?
I just had it. Silver.
Silver? Okay. Silver has 47 electrons. All right, so go ahead and find silver on your periodic table. Put your finger on it. Move one spot up and over to the right. And the noble guess that precedes silver is?
Krypton.
Krypton. Alright, so we're going to put krypton inside brackets. Now, what row is silver in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7?
5.
5. So after krypton, we're going to start with
5S.
5s, because we always got to start way over on the left-hand side. This one I'm going to do the superscript for. Now, how many electrons do we need to put into the 5s?
2.
2. Okay. And that gets us to what element? Strontium. Everybody with me? See that? If we put 2 electrons into the 5s sublevel, we're to strontium now. So we need to go to our next sublevel, which is going to be what?
4D.
4D. How many electrons do we need to put into 4D to get to silver?
9.
9. Okay. So that got us to silver. But if we look, what's right above silver? Copper. And we learned that copper has a special configuration, right? It's one of those hiccups. So since silver and copper are in the same column, we're going to have that same hiccup. So what do we do with copper?
Took off the 1 off the 4S and added 1 onto it for D.
Right. We took one of the electrons from the 5s and put it up into the 3D, right? So same thing with silver. We're going to take 1 from the 5s, move it up to the 4D. So this would be the correct electron configuration for silver. Claire?
I'm confused where you got the 5, because you said what row is krypton in?
No. What row is silver in? Okay. Silver is in the 5th row. Would you agree to that?
Yes.
Okay. Krypton ends the 4th row. All right. What I was trying to say was, what row does silver precede it? Okay. Because after, krypton takes us all the way to the end of the 4th row. Then we need to finish it up with the row that the element is in. Does that clear things up now? Okay. Any other questions right now?
I'm still confused on how you got the 1 with 10.
Copper.
Is copper
We said that
from
copper
the
has a. We had to move 1 electron from the S sublevel for copper up to the D sublevel. We did that for copper. Now silver's right below it, right? So silver, same thing's going to happen. 1 electron from the S is going to be bumped up to the D. Okay? Any other questions right now? No other questions? Okay, let's look at least one more. Now let's look at mercury. Okay? How many electrons does mercury have?
80.
80. Okay, what noble gas precedes mercury?
Xenon.
Xenon. Everybody see that? Okay. Now what row is mercury in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7?
6.
6th row. Okay. On the assignment, I picked at least one element that is in the 6th row, I believe, just as practice, okay? And I think I told you about this on Monday. these bottom two rows. Everybody see them? Guess where they go?
Oh, then that's 6th row.
They go into the 6th and 7th row, okay? The top row at the very bottom goes into the 6th row, the very bottom row goes into the 7th row, okay? So how does that work when we bring in those elements and everything? Okay, we still start over on the left-hand side. So after xenon, what sublevel do we need to put in? We're starting over on the left-hand side, so what?
S.
S. What row are we in?
6.
6, so still
6S.
6s. How many electrons are we going to put in 6s to get to mercury?
2.
2. Because if we put 2 into the 6s, that gets us to what element? Barium. Everybody see that? Okay. Now, for this part, when we get down to the 6th row, or if we're working in the 7th row, after the S, we have to go through these. And we said that what sublevel is down here? F, okay? The F sublevel is 2 less than the row that they were in. So if we're in the 6th row, what? It'll be 4F, okay? Now, if we look down here, is mercury down here in that very bottom row that we had to interject? So we have to go through the whole F sublevel. How many electrons are in an F sublevel?
9.
Not 9. Wow. How many orbitals are in an F sublevel?
7.
7. So the F sublevel can hold up to a grand total of
14.
14. So we have to go through all 14 elements. Okay, so that gets us all the way to the very end of our F sublevel. Now we're back into the
Is less than 2.
D block.
5D.
So it would be
5D.
5D. How many electrons do we need to put into the 5D to get all the way to mercury? What? 11? 10? Yes. Kind of hard to hear with the mask and everything. So the noble gas shortcut for mercury, 6s2, 4f14, 5d10. Okay? As I said, on the assignment, I picked a couple of them that I just want you to try the noble gas shortcut. Try it. The rest of it, if you just want to do it out the standard way that we've been doing it on Monday, by all means do so. Okay? What kind of questions do we have? Claire?
Where do you get the exponents?
That's how many electrons we got to put into it. So when we get done with this, I'll come back, show you a little bit more, okay? Any other questions right now? Okay, so go ahead and work on the assignment. We'll go over it, look at it on Friday. Okay? It's on campus.